Hey, this is Mike from Webs Unweaved, and I'm here with Kimberly. She is from Front for You in home care, pet home care, right? And I'm glad you're here to do this interview. How are you doing today?
Just great.
You're doing
Surviving.
great. Surviving, excellent. You're in Antelope Valley, which is out near Lancaster, California, on the coast there. Great. Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about your business, when you got it started, and so forth.
So I founded my company in 2010. I'm a certified professional pet sitter, and I've had my company for a little over 10 years and grew my company purposefully through referrals with veterinarians, groomers, kennels that couldn't take pets. And my niche became special needs pets. So I take care of a lot of pets who are injured or ill or have to take medications, or cats with inhalers or whatever it is. So that's my niche. And last summer, I actually had built up enough business to quit my day job, which was economic development.
Oh, wow.
And I went into my business full time for the first time, and started paying myself, a regular salary, have workers' comp, all the insurance and bonding and everything, to be a real hardcore professional pet sitting firm, and was blowing and going until March, and everyone's home with their pets right now.
Right.
So I've been not doing a lot of pet sitting. I shifted gears. I kind of, as people say, pivoted and started working on my business expansion plans, things that I'd had in my brain and on paper for about 6 years, figuring out how to grow the company and expand. I connected with my small business development center and started getting some free advice and consulting and expertise from some of their trade partners. And so I've been working in that business development side of things while I'm not out professionally pet sitting with the pets.
So you're not getting you don't have any clients at this point?
I have a couple of clients who actually are essential workers, and the dog walks and the midday lunch feedings for special needs pets, that kind of stuff is still going on. But for the most part, and April is typically my second busiest month of the year because of spring break and a lot of travel that people do. So I lost a huge chunk of my annual income over the last 8 weeks simply because everyone's home with their pets. So the business has been real slow.
Now, you also take in some, I'm guessing, older dogs also?
I don't take in pets. I actually go to their home and take care of them.
You go to the home, great.
Yeah. Great. So that of course has also created a whole nother situation with, the COVID-19 situation. If my clients are traveling for work, or I've got an airline pilot, for example, who is away from home for a couple days at a time. So he's obviously healthy. He hasn't had his home exposed to any ugly situations that would put me at risk. And so I can go in and out and take care of his pets without any problem. The dog walking is a situation that's come up since the pandemic, where some of my elderly clients who are afraid to go out and walk their dogs, we're now doing kind of a transfer at the back gate with the dog, and we'll go out and walk the dog, and the dog will still get its exercise and care. But we just have to be mindful of protecting ourselves first, making sure that the pets are okay, and then not exposing my clients to any, situation virus.
Now, what was it that made you want to get into this type of business? And when did you have the idea that you enjoyed animals? Did you do it earlier on before you actually started a business?
No.
No.
So back in 2009, I was actually living in Colorado, and I was a home builder. I was a business partner with my now ex-husband, and we owned a home building franchise. And so we were home builders, and I was we were in the middle of our divorce, and I was thinking of moving back home to California, which is where I'm from and where my parents and my brothers still live. So I had to shift gears and figure out what I was going to do in 2010 when there's no home building going on in California. I wasn't going to get hired to do home building anywhere. So I had a mentor, very good friend of mine, who had me sit down and be very mindful of what my real passions were. And of course, we landed on animals. I've always loved animals. And he said, you know, if there's anything you could do in the world of animal care without having to go to school to become a veterinarian, that's where you should go, because you'll never work a day in your life, of course, as the saying goes. Right. So I consulted with my veterinarian in Colorado and picked her brain and said, you know, what would help you as a veterinarian? What could I do as a pet lover? And she said, if you could become a professional pet sitter that took care of special needs pets, that she felt like she would have confidence in referring her clients to me. That would be a gold mine for her as well as me. And so she and I started crafting a business plan for how I could do that. I started training with her. And since I've moved back out to California, I've met with a lot of our local veterinarians and worked with them on their special needs cases. And I just grew a company out of my love for pets and that niche of special needs pets. And that's what I do. And it's fabulous. It's a great business until everybody's home with their pets. Then It's not so great.
We're all going to be out there soon. It's going to be great.
I know. Hurry, go.
I know we need to wait, right? Now, right. Do you have a certain radius from where you are that you have maybe a hard, limit?
Yeah. The way I've structured my business, contrary to what a lot of other professional pet sitters do, is I actually charge my normal hourly rate or half-hour rate plus mileage and travel time. So after I travel, 15, 20 minutes in any direction and then have to do the return trip, all of a sudden my client is paying for an hour of time instead of a half-hour visit. They're paying for my travel time and my mileage. So it looks like at about 25-minute drive in any direction is kind of the stopgap for my clientele for the median income out here in North Los Angeles County. So I have to be really careful that I don't advertise beyond my reach. I have to be very purposeful in where I advertise and how I market my business, because it is pretty geographically specific.
Right. Okay, is there anything else that you'd like people to know about you and your business?
Go travel, people, go.
Go travel, right.
It's funny. I've been developing some other streams of income, or trying to identify other streams of income that I can generate from my love of pets. And I never in my wildest dreams imagined that a statewide lockdown would actually be what halted my business growth. And I never planned for that. And obviously, if people are home with their pets, they don't need their pet sitter unless we're doing some kind of serious medicine administration or some kind of special care that they need help with. But for the most part, I've had to really focus on what can I do to become more resilient after being in business 10 years. This is what really stopped me. And typically this time of year, I'd be trying to figure out how to slow down my business because it's so crazy. But this has really given me pause to be able to think about what else I could be doing to help diversify the streams of income that can come into my company, and figure out how to become resilient if we were to ever have another pandemic, or, God forbid, we have an earthquake like we had 2 last summer, or something like that kind of rattles the nerves of my clientele. So I'm looking at that and how to diversify my business profile so that if the physical pet sitting stops, maybe the feeding the pets and the giving CBD to the pets and all of my photography of pets and all of that can blossom into some really great, strong streams of income. So that's really what I guess for every business owner we should be thinking about right now, is how do we become more resilient in these times where no one ever imagined this could happen to us in the United States, and it did. And thankfully, it's not going to kill me financially. It's not going to put me out of business, but it certainly kicked me in the teeth and has made me have to step back and think about the reality of how fragile my business model right now really is.
Right. I think a lot of people are looking at that because they have this time to pause and take a look at, what's going on. And it's not just something that happens to them where, they may lose a job, but everyone else is working. Everybody is in this together.
Right.
They all have to come up with something.
Right.
Do you have any pets?
I have 3 sitting down here.
Oh, my.
The cat's about to jump up on the credenza and photobomb us, and then the 2 dogs are laying down here next to me. They're always very quiet when I'm on a call.
That's very good. You trained them well.
No, I didn't. Wait till the doorbell rings, and then it'll be chaos.
Oh, great. Right. So you take care of cats and dogs, any other animals, or mainly?
For almost everything. I've taken care of pigs and horses and goats and chickens, snakes and reptiles, guinea pigs, fish, lots of birds, cats, dogs. I've only been bitten a couple times.
It's that calm, assertive energy, right?
Right, it is. It's that I'm so calm and assertive.
That's right. You're the queen, and
you're Caesar Milan's minion, aren't you?
I am. I
love that.
Am.
You know what? When I get on my treadmill in the mornings and I climb 12 levels to nowhere, I watch Caesar Milan, and I'm always amazed at how he pulls off his stuff. So I am a student of his for sure, and me and my treadmill in the mornings.
Yeah, I've watched, I don't know, probably most of his videos, and I have a few of his books and his DVD. And yeah, I absolutely do. All right.
Well, yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you, Kimberly, for interviewing with me. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to chatting with you again.
Yeah, call me up anytime, Mike.